Hey friends, it's Courtney. Welcome back to my channel Phyrra, where I talk about cruelty-free beauty, gothic fashion, and more. If these are things you're interested in talking about, be sure to click the little subscribe button down below. So today's video is going to be a tutorial featuring the Natasha Denona Triochrome palette, which is really gorgeous. And here is the look that I created with it. I did use JD Glow Seaweed to help put this look together, but everything else is from the palette. Oh, other than my highlight, because I always like to use the same highlight that's on my cheek, on my eyes. So if you want to see how I put this look together, just keep watching. So I've already prepped my eyes with Urban Decay's eyeshadow primer in Eden and my Cosette powder in C1 to set it. I love this because it has a matte finish and it's tinted and it helps to cover up any discoloration on my eyes. I'm starting with this shade Ion on a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to kind of work this through like my crease slash transition area for the inner part of the eye, and I'm going to bring a little bit down onto the lid, but I'm not really worried about getting a ton on the lid. It's mostly just trying to make sure it's nice and soft right here at the inner crease. Next, I'm going to take the same brush, which is the Delium 787 brush, and take the color Vert, and I'm going to start applying this at the outer part of the lid and crease, and I'm swirling my brush in like circles, in little circles. As I apply this, again, I'm going to get a little bit on the lid, but I'm not worried about making a solid color on the lid. And then I'm working Vert more inwards. I love these mattes so much. And I'm going back to that color Ion again. I'm going to put this around the lower lid. And then I'm going to take the same brush and go back with the color Vert. Again, right here at the outer corner and the outer part of the lower lid, and I'm kind of blending it back towards the end of my brow to sort of elongate the shape. I'm going to go back with a small fluffy brush and my setting powder that matches my skin tone and blend in little circles right here at the edge of the color, just to make sure that there's no harsh lines. Now I'm going to take an angled eyeshadow brush and the color Scrap, and I'm going to basically run this across my lash line. And I'm following the angle of my lower lash line to elongate my shape just a little bit. And we're going to blend this, so please don't feel like you have to be exact with this. At the inner quarter, do try to be a little bit more exact, because I'm trying to make more of like a defined shape here. And I'm lining along the upper lash line as thinly as I can. I want to go back to that Sigma E25 brush and just blend along the lower lid, because I don't want this to look harsh. I want this to just look a little bit more diffused. I'm going to use a Q-tip to just kind of shape this a little better here. Okay, now I'm going to put the star of the show on my lid. This is the color Scarab. And I feel like I took my tail out a little bit too far, so I'm using a makeup wipe to just sort of shorten that tail, and then I'm going to readjust in a second. And I use Bliss makeup wipes because they don't irritate my skin. Yeah, I think that looks better. I basically just used this brush a little bit to reshape that outer corner with a Q-tip. I actually really like using Q-tips to blend things out. Okay, so you can see this is what Scarab looks like on the lid, and it's really pretty, but there's no visible blue shift, at least to my eyes. So I'm going to take JD Glow Seaweed, which is my favorite multi-chrome. It has green and blue and teal, and I'm going to pat that on the outer lid. I dampened my brush with just a little bit of Urban Decay's All Nighter. I'm going to put on the rest of my makeup, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I put on the rest of my makeup. If you're wondering what I'm wearing, be sure to click the link in the description box down below to go to my blog, because everything will be on my blog. Also, I recorded a complexion tutorial for you on this complexion that I just put together. So if you're interested in that, I will put a link up here once it is live for you to watch. I have on all of my makeup except for this, the end of this eye look, so I want to go ahead and finish the eye look for you. And if you've been around here for a while, you will know that I love my Black Moon highlighters and that I like to use whatever highlighter I just used on my cheek to highlight on my eyes. And so I like to take a little like pencil brush to highlight right under the brow. And then I like to flip it over to the other side and just make sure it's nice and blended. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of highlight right up in here, kind of above my tear duct a little bit. For my lower waterline, I'm going to use the LA Girl Super Bright Pencil. I really like this as a lower waterline pencil because it's really great at brightening. Okay, I think I'm ready to show you the finished look up close. I love this palette. I am so in love with the Natasha Denona Triochrome palette. I primarily bought this because of the mattes, and I love them. They are fantastic. The duochromes are okay, but obviously I have much better duochromes from the indie world, like these. The majority of the colors that you're seeing here are from JD Glow. They make amazing duochromes and multichromes. And the color Seaweed, which is the color I patted on the outer corner of this eye, is basically like a color that goes between blue and gold and teal and green, and just, it's so pretty. But yeah, I really love how this turned out, and I'm happy I got to share it with you. What do you think of my look featuring the Natasha Denona Triochrome palette? Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe this video. It really helps me out when you do, and it tells YouTube my video is awesome. So thank you so much for sharing. I love you, my friends. I'll see you next time. Bye.